Well, here we are on episode 213 now. Good evening and welcome to you. Barry Fair here with you in the studio. And welcome along to you at 20 past 7. And this evening we had shepherd's pie again, and what a beautiful hearty winter meal it was. Joining me in the studio now is Rob Doyle. Good evening to you. What do you think about shepherd's pie?
Well, I'm a big fan, Barry. I make it around at NIMBY myself, and when I do the cooking around there, and I make it at home for my family. So it's a good hearty winter meal.
And it's good in a wrap too, you said on last
I
time.
did indeed, Barry. God, you've got a good memory. Yes, I did. Kit discovered that. You just put the wrap in, you put it in the wrap, you wrap it up, and then you put the wrap in the toaster and then slice it up. He said it's delicious.
So, shepherd's pie is made from beef, I think.
Yes, beef and vegetables, and then put it on with a sweet potato top. Sometimes people put a bit of cheese on the top, add a bit of cheese on the top. We don't. We let the person choose to have cheese or not individually. And then it's you cook it up, and then you lay it out in the pan, and then you in the bowl or whatever in the dish, and then you put the potato on top, and then you put it in the oven to bake for 20 minutes.
And it was beautiful. And why don't you go ahead and make shepherd's pie for your family? We urge you to tonight on the show. Now, the COVID cases now. Melbourne's lockdown, I believe, will end at midnight tonight. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's good news, isn't it, Barry? They're very practiced in jumping straight into the solution to things when it crops up. So yeah, they've had plenty of practice, and let's hope this is the last time. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, in regional New South Wales, some COVID things have popped up, and we will also believe that people are right about where they have come from. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's a bit sad, isn't it, that people actually took that chance, and thank goodness they got tested up there in Queensland, and they didn't quarantine like they should have, and so far it doesn't look like they've spread anything in New South Wales, but
I think in regional New South Wales.
Yeah, but have there been any positive cases up there yet? I don't know.
I don't know, but I think people need to be telling the truth of where they've come from. And a woman was stopped during the lockdown in Melbourne on a border. So for goodness sake, don't lie on your declarations. Here's my offside.
That's right. Well, if they do lie, Barry, people are going to suffer potentially, and they're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Well, anyway, enough of the negativity now on the episode 213. Well, yesterday I made a delicious damper with Steve Wood. Now, who loves a damper? Let us know down below. Here's my offside.
Yeah, look, I was there when he pulled that damper out, and I tasted some, and it was delicious with a bit of butter. Absolutely delicious.
So, damper. Why don't you also make some damper up, even on the long weekend? Here's my offside.
Yeah, it's a real winter food, isn't it? Because it's sustaining and it's hearty. It's a nice one to have.
And damper, you can serve it with some butter, some golden syrup, even some Vegemite. Here's my offside.
Yeah, I know someone who has it with Promite. So Shane round at Nimby House, he likes a bit of damper or a bit of garlic bread with Promite on it. So yeah, each to their own.
So another bit of good news is I went to Manly yesterday on Tuesday and did a big show down there. We started off near the Manly Wharf and then I continued the episode on the Corso and then finished up at Manly Beach in North End. And what a show I brought to you viewers out there. And like I've said, if you do, bring your rubbish in, ladies and gentlemen. Please put it in the bins provided wherever you go. Don't just throw your rubbish out and go, here's Rob now for this.
That's right. It's a crime to litter, and you'll be fined. And it's just everyone's got to work together on this and keep the environment clean and don't be a litter bug.
And don't be a tosser because if it's not in the bin, ladies and gentlemen, it's on you. And do you remember the jingle? Do the right thing. Here's Rob now.
That's right. It's a good one. I like that. If it's not, it's on you. So that's you wouldn't think after all these years you'd have to remind people to do it, but clearly you do. And there's certainly a lot of pollution in the ocean, and that's something that we've all got to ensure is not perpetuated.
And don't let public transport either. Dispose of it when you get off the train or ferry. Here's my offside.
That's right. There's always bins handy when you get off public transport too, Barry. So there's no excuse, is there?
So don't just go, because who's going to pick up your rubbish? No one, because if you drop it, pick it up. And if you make a mess, clean it up. Here's Rob now.
Yep. Well, if you don't pick it up, then the police will pick you up, hopefully, and you'll get a big fine, $200 fine.
So we want to keep the northern beaches clean, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my offside.
We sure do. That's very important.
And also the national parks and our waterways. Here's my offside.
Yeah, oh God, our waterways. It's so important that we keep all this stuff as clean as we can. Barry, going into we're in the age of plastics and they get everywhere. So hopefully people are going to start to find alternatives to using plastic and the environment won't have to suffer.
And don't litter our vans either because they are not rubbish dumps, not rubbish bins. Here's Rob.
That's right, exactly right, Barry.
And if you are caught littering in disabled taxis, well, you will be fined. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's right. No one's exempt from being. No one has the right to litter, do they, Barry?
Because we want to keep the taxis clean and no smoking either.
Yep. The smoking's long gone from planes and cars and trains and everything now. So I'm sure you can still do it in a few countries, but here you can't. And rightly so. Who wants to suffer from secondhand smoke?
Not me. And now here's our closing sequence. Congratulations to New South Wales on winning State of Origin 1 in Townsville last night. A 50-6 thrashing. Here's Rob now.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to watch, Barry. To see the Blues play so well, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the second game. Whether the Queenslanders can get themselves back on track, and but it's a big way to come back, and New South Wales was certainly very watchable, led by the mighty Turbo.
The Maroons, we call them here. And now, our closing message. Double demerit points are coming into place this weekend, so if you or your passengers are caught not wearing your seatbelt, using your mobile phone, texting whilst driving, or answering your phone, or not concentrating on the road, that's it. That's your license. And here's Rob to tell you about that before we close the program.
Yeah, well, look, on a holiday day, like Queen's birthday, there's always more people out, around. It's just like the weekend, maybe even worse, a lot more traffic, a lot more this and that. And it's just, you're going to have to be patient, because if you're not patient and you start to drive recklessly or speed or do the wrong thing, you will be caught and you will lose your license. If you get double demerits and you've already got points, you're a big chance to lose your license for 6 months or 3 months or whatever. So it's just not worth it.
So don't rush to get to your destination this long weekend, or stop it or cop it, and you, like I just said a moment ago, your license will be, and that's it. You will have to find alternative ways of getting around, and if you've got a money tree growing in your pocket, which Rob and I doubt that you have, you will be forking out lots of money on taxis, buses, and trains. Although there is an Opal card. So be careful, guys. And the message we'd like to close the show with: 000, please do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency. Please don't be a fool with 000. Only ring it if you have an emergency. We say this at the end of each episode because someone is bound to say something ridiculous. Here's Rob now to close the show and his good night with that.
Yeah, well, look, I'd just like to say, wish everyone a happy long weekend. Please drive safely and carefully and have a lovely time with your family or friends, and listen to the advice that Barry gives, because he thinks about this stuff a lot, and he puts the message out there, and he deserves to be heard. So well done, Baz, and have a good weekend, everyone.
And don't forget to remind viewers, Rob, about 000.
000, that's right. If you've got any major problems, you can call 000. But if it's not a major problem, a life-threatening situation, then don't call 000.
Don't even contemplate it, because with people like me and my help at the moment, please don't call an ambulance, because the wrong call that you make could cost someone like me their life, and Rob as well. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to draw episode 213 to a close at nearly 25 to 8. Rob, what a pleasure it has been to have you on the show again.
Thank you very much, Barry. It's always a pleasure to come in here and support your messages.
And we hope that you enjoy the following episodes coming up. Episode 214 on Tuesday, where I will be doing a book review, and then on episode 215, it is up on the ferry, so I will be taking a break to get ready for those two exciting episodes. And Rob, what do you think about me getting on the ferry next week?
I think that's great news, Barry. I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. You're getting out and about there, and I think that's great.
Hey, Barry. Hey, how's it?
That's all right.
And that's it from episode 213 now. Good night, Rob. Thanks for coming on the show again. And the shepherd's pie, guys. Okay, whip it up. Have it in a wrap tomorrow. Grate some cheese over the wrap. Melt the cheese and you will love it. And Tashi, great to have you in the room too. And it is time to draw this episode to a close. So good night, Rob. Good night, Tashi. See you on the next episode. And here's Rob to say good night.
Good night, everyone. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
And here's Tash.
Good night, everyone.
And see you on the next show too. So it's nearly 20 to 8. And da 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 da. That's all, folks. Good night.
Good night. Good night.